Okay, hello dear friends, page 209 of A Dream of Red Mansions. Bao Yu could not stop thinking about Dai Yu. He decided if he slept in the outer room, Dai Yu would perhaps be able to find him and enter his dreams. Bao Chai did not try to stop him. So She Yue and Wu Er made the bed for Bao Yu and helped him to retire. Yet Bao Yu could not go to sleep. He remembered the time when Qing Wen had deliberately caught a cold in order to scare him. Then he recalled that Xi Feng had mentioned that Wu Er looked very similar to Qing Wen, so he decided to try and move his longing to Qing Wen for Qing Wen to Wu Er. She Yue was already asleep, and so Bao Yu told Wu Er that he needed help. When she approached him, Bao Yu believed she was the reincarnation of Qing Wen, and suddenly remembered how Qing Wen had said, "My name has been tainted for no reason. If I had known this would happen, I would have." He took Wu Er's hand in his as he stood and stared at her. Bao Yu and She Yue has slept, and this is Wu Er. Page 210. The emperor ordered that the Ning mansion be searched and all its property confiscated, which upset the Lady Dowager so much that she soon became sick. She grew worse every day, and no medicine could be found to help her. Jia Zheng became so worried that he asked for leave from his position so that he could return home to look after her. Jia Zheng, Lady Dowager. The Lady Dowager recovered enough to eat a little food, for which everyone was grateful. However, as she was eating, they saw an old woman waiting at the door. Lady Wang sent Cai Yun. Lady Wang sent Cai Yun to see what she wanted, and she found out that the old woman was one of the servants who had gone with Ying Chun when she had been married to the Sun family. Ying Chun has married into Sun family. The old woman had come to tell them that Ying Chun was being abused in her new home, and that the previous day, even though she was choking up, her throat blocked up with phlegm, the family would not call a doctor. When Lady Wang heard the news, she ordered the woman not to bring them any more reports, since they might upset the Lady Dowager too much. However, it was not long before a new report arrived, telling them that Ying Chun had died. Page 211. Her illness got steadily worse, and the Lady Dowager soon died. Since Xi Feng had done such a good job on arranging Qin Keqing's funeral, she was also asked to arrange the Lady Dowager's. She was delighted to accept, and thought to herself that even though she had been ill herself recently, this time would still be easier than last time. However, Jia Zheng instructed that no money was to be wasted on a lavish ceremony, as all they needed to show was the extent of their grief. Lady Xing agreed with him. Noting that the family's financial future was now insecure, Lady Wang had no choice but to concur, and therefore all the other family members did the same. Yuan Yang came to call on Xi Feng. She fell to her knees and begged Xi Feng to arrange a lavish, spectacular funeral for Lady Dowager, fitting in with her position. Xi Feng was overwhelmed by all the problems and felt she had been treated unfairly. During the wake, when there was a lot of work to be done, Xi Feng became frantic and worried that she could not manage everything at once. At that time, a serving girl found her and said, "At least I've found you, madame. No wonder my mistress say there are so many visitors here to care for, yet Xi Feng is probably resting somewhere." Xi Feng fought hard to control her rage. At this comment, her eyes clouded over, and coppery taste filled her mouth shortly before she began spitting out blood. Page 212. Xi Feng was carried back to her bedroom by Ping Er, who then sent a message to Lady Xing and Lady Wang to tell them about her sudden illness. Lady Xing thought that Xi Feng was probably faking her illness so as to get out of doing the more difficult work. As a result, many of the staff misbehaved and disappeared to talk among themselves, meaning that the whole house was reduced to chaos. Meanwhile, Yuan Yang was crying on her own, wondering what would happen to her now that her mistress, the Lady Dowager, was dead. "I am nothing now," she thought. "If they are going to make my life miserable, then surely it would be better to end it now." Then she stepped into the room. She spotted a figure in the shadow, holding a silk scarf and moving as if she intended to hang herself with it. Suddenly, the air became cold and the vision disappeared. Yuan Yang was convinced that it was Madame Qin who had appeared to teach her how to commit suicide. She quickly closed the door and stepped onto a stool in the center of the room. She wound her sash into a noose. He wound her sash into a noose, tightened it around her neck, then kicked the stool away, leaving her dangling from the rafter. Within a few minutes, she was dead. Her spirit left her body, but then was uncertain where to go. It was then that she saw Madame Qin beckoning her spirit towards the illusionary land of infinite nothingness. Page 213. Xi Feng and Xi Chun were left to look after the mansion while all the relatives went to the Iron Threshold Temple for Lady Dowager's funeral. At this time, Miao Yu and an old abbess came to visit Xi Chun, and they played the game of Go and talked until late in the night. Just as Miao Yu was about to retire to bed, they heard a woman keeping watch in the Lady Dowager's room began to scream and shout. Miao Yu looked out of the window to see a group of men in the courtyard. Suddenly, they heard the sound of footsteps on the roof, and the watchman appeared to try and approach the thieves. Tiles began to smash as they slipped off the roof, since some of the thieves were trying to escape that way. This stopped people from climbing up after them in pursuit. Yet, at that moment, Bao Yong, the servant sent by Zhen's family, appeared. He used a staff to vault himself up onto the roof and then swung it quickly to knock one of the thieves down. A crowd gathered to see what was happening and were surprised to see that the thief who had been knocked off the roof was Zhou Rui's godson.